Welcome back to another episode of Local Search Tuesdays. I'm on the road back from Pubcon Austin, and this week we've got a killer video for you. I grabbed as many of the speakers as I could from Pubcon Austin to have them share one awesome digital marketing tip with us, and we got some killer tips. You guys are gonna love them. So here we go.
So I did some recent testing on different TLDs, which is top-level domains, and looked at 15 different top-level domains like .xyz, .co.uk, .co, .de, and I actually figured out a lot of interesting things. For example, there are certain TLDs like .xyz that get their pages indexed a lot faster than other pages on other TLDs. So an XYZ domain will get pages indexed a lot faster than, let's say, the same content on a .com or .net or .org. And we also figured out that during this testing that a .co, if you use a .co domain, Google automatically thinks it's in Spanish because it's .co. And I know a lot of sites are English-speaking sites or based in the United States that use a .co. So you need to actually use something like hreflang to identify the fact that your site is in English.
So my one tip for you is if you're creating content in other languages, you need to have a style guide that talks about forms of address, whether it's formal or informal, words that are allowed, words that are not allowed, and it needs to be both in the language that you're targeting and in English, so that your local teams, as well as your centralized team, understand the same thing and are on board with what your direction is in that place.
Today at Pubcon, I talked about inclusive marketing, and a big tip that you can take away and act on is actually focusing on accessibility. It's great for quality score for PPC. It can help you with your SEO as well, and it really is just the right thing to do. Plus, you can reach a whole new market. For example, the World Health Organization says that over 1 billion people in this world have a disability. So it's almost like saying to 1 out of every 5 people that you just don't want their business if you're not designing for accessibility. It's really, really simple things that you can think about. Your website, are your title tags, is your HTML code in the right order if somebody's using a text-to-speech reader? Are your colors in enough contrast that somebody who has color blindness can read them? It's simple things like this that you can go back and double check so you can get started. If you want to go and find something, we have an accessibilityinsights.io. It's a code tool that you can go in and have it checked out. And final tip, if you are using PowerPoint or Word doc or Outlook or Word, there is an accessibility checker built into all of these tools that can actually use AI to tell you the areas that you can make better. So hopefully that helps.
You may have found that you run into a lot of friction when you're making great SEO recommendations, but no one's actually implementing them. I recommend creating something called the Discoverability Task Force. So all of the people who are stakeholders in the outcomes or the inputs into your search work, bring them to the table to have a conversation about what your SEO strategy should look like this year. So that can include developers, paid search experts, content writers, whoever it takes to get the search job done. When you bring those voices to the table, you'll have their buy-in, their advocacy, and get real work done.
My number one tip would probably be that organizations are going to have to democratize SEO to the various disciplines, so they know that how they individually impact SEO. There are 45,000 jobs in the world looking for SEOs, and only about 25,000 of us. So there's a glut of jobs and not enough people to do them. So why not train people in your organization to integrate SEO into their disciplines?
So my tip is really about being there for your audience. So what you want to do is you want to figure out exactly where your audience is. So let's say you're a food blogger. Let's say your audience is moms. Moms are stressed. Moms are busy. What can you do to show up for moms to make their lives easier? What recipes do you have that are not aspirational, that are down and dirty, that they can do to help them in their lives now?
So my talk was about letting art inspire your content in order to make it more emotional and resonant with an audience. So I'm a big proponent of stealing other people's campaigns. When I say stealing, I really mean taking inspiration from. A lot of people have already articulated a lot of specific feelings and experiences, and we can use that to connect more deeply with an audience.
So my suggestion on what people need to try are custom intent audiences for YouTube. It's a way to have a good direct intent for your YouTube ads. You can target users based on queries that they typed into google.com, and they don't have to have any previous interaction with your brand. Now, these custom intent audiences are going to be called custom audiences soon, but we still get to get a deeper intent, yet build some brand awareness on the second largest search engine after Google.
So the big tip I have for PPC as we plan into 2020 is think about the audience who's searching for your ads. They're not necessarily the same people that you or your core audience or you personally are. Think about the fringe audiences. Who is out there? Why are they searching for this? Are they searching for themselves, for a partner, for work, for a kid? As you write your ads, could be a completely different message, and how you target them and ultimately convert them is going to depend on that.
Make sure that you sync your Google My Business into Google Ads. You'll unlock not only your location extensions, you'll also unlock local search ads, a cheaper and actually more efficient way to get those call-only ads that traditionally will go for hundreds of dollars a click. Save money, sync through, have great ads.
Right now, the biggest thing that I'm seeing is utilizing attribution within Google Analytics and going beyond last click mentality. This is extremely important, especially if you're selling something or lead generation, whatever is going on your site. Understanding the entire path of that customer journey, that guides everything you do, from your keyword research and topic research to how you lay out the site, to understanding that it goes beyond just the last click, and you really need to see what are the steps of that customer journey, where are they going, how are they looking at your site, and you can do that all through Google Analytics, and it's pretty simple.
Hey, one of the things I talked about today is making sure that you really have a strong partnership with your sales team or whoever's responsible for sales, especially with social media leads. It's important to have the response be timely, and you will have a much higher conversion rate.
So probably my tip for 2020, honestly, it doesn't change a lot, but I'm a technical girl. Audit your site, fix all the technical issues that you possibly can. They are within your control. That's probably my favorite thing to do. There are a lot of small little fixes that can equal up some big wins. I've seen it, I know it works. The other thing would be to audit a lot of your older content. We're looking for stuff that needs updated, refreshed. Go through Google Analytics, go back and look at least 6 to 9 months worth of data. If it doesn't hardly get any traffic, it's either time to get rid of it or update it.
Use UTM coding on the website links. So take the time and use UTM source equals Google GMB or Google listing, and make the medium organic. By doing this, you capture more traffic than you would have without, so it's an instant win in analytics to see what traffic is coming directly from maps. So again, about 50% of the traffic that you were getting straight as organic will now count, plus what was direct and what was referral, so you've got a nice lift. And then by using Google in the name as part of the source, it makes it a lot easier to filter by Google, and then you get both in one shot.
My tip for local search is revolving around link building. I want you to stop thinking about necessarily the link when you build said links, and look for the opportunity to engage with your customer base and get your brand out there. The link should be secondary. So you want to look for links that drive more audience to your business, gain awareness to them so that they think of you whenever they're trying to make a business decision or a purchase decision, and then the link will inevitably bring you more traffic and more SEO gains in the future.
So thanks again for watching. We hope you enjoyed the awesome tips that we got from all the speakers at Pubcon Austin this week. And now, you know it's that time. Put your hand on the screen right here. We totally just high-fived because you learned something awesome. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to come back next week for another awesome episode of Local Search Tuesdays.